This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2024 Flagstaff E-Pro, and the model number is 20 FBS. Okay, so this is not a floor plan, it's more of a how-to video, so I'm going to show you some of the features and how they work. You have the quick drop type stabilizer jacks. Okay, this is just storage here, but you know, this is a table that hangs outside. This is your sprayer. This hose here has it's an LP line. It has quick connect fittings, so you can connect your grill or griddle to the LP system. But keep in mind here, you have your water here, right? All your hookups. Well, you look inside this compartment here, and it's kind of dark, but you can see they're all accessible from there, right? And I believe, let me look here, just for the heck of it. Yeah, we'll just leave it with that. So that's all, they're all accessible from there. You have a power awning with LED strip, outside speaker. That is the vent for your range hood. Make sure you have the baffle inside flapping freely when you're venting to the outside. This is the rail that your griddle hangs on, and that's the quick connect that you plug your LP hose into. Okay. Power. That's the furnace vent, of course. This is just in case it's made by Go Power, and it's just in case you wanted to purchase a kit. It's basically a solar panel that unfolds, and you would set it on a stand and plug it in here, and it would charge your batteries. It's just an option. When I look in here, this is your griddle, and you can see it's got the supports on it so it can hang on the rail. Also, you're getting a hitch with this. This is a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how that operates when you pick up. It's a good one. You have two deep cycle marine batteries wired together with an output of 12 volts. And so it's still 12 volt output. It just doubles the storage capacity, which is great because you can. This trailer has a power inverter. We'll talk about that more. That, you can barely see it there, but that's the kill switch for your batteries. You can actually shut the batteries off, disconnect it from the trailer by turning that knob. Two LP tanks with an automatic changeover regulator. There's your cover there. You have a bike rack for two bikes. Keep in mind, when this is just set up how they set it for the factory, because you're going to have to set it up for your particular bicycles. But you basically, every other piece here you're going to turn this way, because one bike hangs on this side, the other bike hangs on this side. So keep in mind, half of these will be going the other way when you set your bike up. You have a power tongue jack with a hitch light, up and down. Now here, let's see if I can. Let's look inside this compartment here real quick. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so you can see that's your dump hose right there. This is a reducer to reduce your shore core down. This is the 3/4 inch crank that you use for your quick drop jacks. But you have this crank here, which is used for your power tongue jack in case it fails. So if your power tongue jack was to ever fail, you could still get hitched and unhitched by pulling this pin, backing this out, removing this top piece here, and you can go, and then removing this rubber plug, you can go straight into the top of the jack. There's a hitch there, and you can actually crank it manually in an emergency to get yourself hitched and unhitched, okay? Okay. Your water heater. This trailer is winterized right now, so there's antifreeze in the system. All the water is drained out. This water heater is bypassed right now and is empty, of course. This runs on both gas and electric. The switches to operate are inside. I'll show you that when we get inside. This is your drain plug / anode rod. It goes right in here. Takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket to operate it. The thing to remember about this is never run it without gas in the water heater. Without gas. Never run it without water in the water heater tank. If you do that, then it can damage it. So always make sure you refill it. If you drain it, which you inevitably will. I mean, right now it's drained for the winter time, but if you go camping in the spring, you're going to pull the plug and let the water drain out. If you're not going to go for another couple months or something, you don't just want the stagnant water in there. So it's common to drain it out, but you just have to remember to refill it before you turn it on. Okay, that would be important. Fresh water drain is down here. You can see that white gate valve. Hopefully you can see that right there. Alrighty, your slide room is commonly referred to as a Schwintek. I mean, it's owned by a company called Lippert now, and they've changed the name, but people still refer to it as a Schwintek. So if you use that, if you tell a technician or anybody that you have a Schwintek, they'll know what you're talking about. Okay, your power cord, 30 foot, 30 amp. You have your valves. The black tank valve is the large one right there. The smaller one is always the gray one. The gray is sink and shower water. Black is toilet water and waste. Now, when you dump your black tank, if you leave the valve open like it is now, you can come back here with the hose at the dump station, and you can pull this, open this right here, and screw the hose onto here. This is the black tank flush. And turn it on, it'll spray out the inside of your black tank, spray off the sensor so you get a good accurate read and that sort of thing. So if you got a working hose at the dump station, it's a good thing to use. While I'm standing here, here's the city water connection here, right? And this is to draw antifreeze in. You winterize the trailer from here. So you'll have to, if you're going to do it yourself, you have to educate yourself a bit about it, but that's where you draw the antifreeze in. There's a valve back here. I showed you this compartment here, but there's actually a valve so you can switch this so the water pump, the onboard water pump, will either draw from the fresh water tank, which is normal operation, or you can switch it so it draws through there. Therefore you can draw that water into the system, or excuse me, the antifreeze into the system. This is a sprayer where your sprayer hooks up. You have a housing for a backup camera. It's a Furrion backup camera kit, so if you're ever interested in that, you can add one of those on. It's pre-wired. You have a ladder, which makes it easy to inspect the roof. Manufacturer says you should inspect every 60 to 90 days. You're going to have somebody go up there, look around, make sure there's no crack or separation at any of the sealant where water could get through. Make sure that none of the roofing attachments or roofing material was damaged by, let's say, low branches or road debris. You're just going to give it a quick look over it. The thing is, you can't see what's happening on the roof unless you're up there, so yes, somebody has to go up there and look. And you're basically, what you're doing is protecting your investment. So that should be part of your regular maintenance, okay? Alrighty. So this, let me see if I can show you from over here. This trailer inverts power. Inversion is going from 12 volt DC to 110 AC. It also converts, which is going from 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So I just want to show you. There's another switch there. This is just a bag for your cord. Actually, I'm looking to see where it's at here, but okay. Oh, I guess we already looked at that, didn't we? I'm sorry. I thought we had our shop cord hooked up, but I realize now that it's the actual cord with the trailer. It comes with the trailer. Okay, so this is your panel here. There is an app for this, so you can use the app if you choose to. But you got an awning, power awning. Never leave the awning out unattended. Always roll it in if you're not going to be at the campground. This is for your slide room here. Your lights are on here. Okay. You have your water pump here. The water pump's used to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. It's also used to winterize the trailer. Now I left something out here. I must have walked right past it. Let me look around here. Bear with me. I'm getting ahead of myself, as I often do. I betcha. Yeah, that's why I missed it. This right here is to fill your fresh water tank. You have an onboard fresh water tank. Now if you're camping someplace without city water, you can pre-fill this tank and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. So keep that in mind. I showed you where you hook up your city water, which is the most common way to get water to a trailer, but occasionally you're going to be camping places that don't have city water. So you pre-fill your water tank here, and then you use the pump switch I just showed you to turn the pump on to pump the water out of the tank. Like I said, you also use that switch for to winterize the trailer too, to draw the antifreeze into the system. Okay. So to turn your water heater on electric is there. To light it on gas is there. I'm sorry. That's the water pump there. This is the gas water heater. I'm sorry here, but that's your water pump there. And this is your tank heater. You have heating pads on all the tanks, your holding tanks. So basically it extends your camping season. It warms them up so they don't freeze as easily, and so it extends your camping season. And then of course you can connect there to the app. Okay? Alright, let's see what else we have here. Down under there. GFCI here. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI, even the one on the outside. So if you're using something outside and it pops it, you're going to be resetting it inside. Okay. This is your booklet with all your literature in it. This is your remote for your TV. Alrighty. So you have storage under here, storage in the drawers. Okay. Now we'll start talking about the power now. Even though we're inside, so I can only show you so much about the solar panel, but I can still talk you through it. So this inverts and converts power. Inversion is starting with 12 volt DC from your battery and inverting it to 110 AC. Now it doesn't invert enough power to run the air conditioner, for example, or a microwave, but it does invert 12 volt to DC to 110 AC to the receptacles, so you can run small appliances, blender or coffee pot or whatever you have that runs on AC current, and it's a small appliance. You can always run those even when you're out in the middle of nowhere with no hookup. Okay, so we come over here. This is the I'll tell you, I'm going to walk out here and get my flashlight. Let's see. Where did I put it? Here, right here. Okay, this will be better. That way, I'm sure that you're actually seeing it. I know after you upload this, it looks a lot lighter than it does through my viewfinder. But okay, so this is the controller for the inverter. You turn it on here. Hold it for a second to turn it on. There we go. Okay. So when you're inverting power, this is just turn the inverter on, and then it tells you what's happening with it. You know, you can basically get a good idea of how much. It shows you how charged your batteries are, how much AC is on standby, that sort of thing, what the AC output is. So you don't have to run this unless you're inverting power. Like I said, the only time you're going to invert power is when you want to run a small appliance and you don't have city power hookup. You don't have regular campground power. So you're generally just going to keep it off. You got to hold it a minute before it'll turn off. There it goes. But keep in mind, this sends AC power. DC power is converted to AC, and it sends it to the receptacles. All right. Now going the other way, most trailers have a converter. That'll be right here. So this does just the opposite. It starts with 110 AC and converts to 12 volt DC. So on this side you have regular AC circuit breakers, 110 AC, and they're labeled, right? Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side, and you've got 12 volt fuses, and they're labeled. All right. This is also a battery tender, so as long as you're plugged in, it's going to be sensing how much energy your batteries up front have, in need, and it'll send as many amps necessary to keep them charged up. Okay, so when you're plugged in, this is going to charge your battery. When you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle is going to charge the battery, and just normally in the sunlight, your solar panel is going to be charged with the battery. That's controlled by up here. This is the solar controller. Now I can't tell you show you everything now because we're inside the building, but 13.6 volts in the battery, which is perfect. Temperature here, and then 0.0 amps. That's where you're going to find how many amps are actually coming from the solar panels and being stored in the battery. So it says 0.0 now, but when you get outside, if it's an overcast day, it might only be a couple amps, 2.0, 2.8, whatever. When it gets real bright sunlight, you could have 7.5 amps. It depends on the conditions outside, but this line will be telling you how many amps are being stored in your battery from the solar panels. Also, like I mentioned, that you can this solar controller, this converter charges the batteries, and your tow vehicle charges the batteries. Well, this will also, as it can, depending on the conditions outside, it'll send energy to your batteries. Okay. So that's the solar controller. So that about covers the power part of it. You have plenty of literature to look at. Also, you can go to the manufacturer of the products. These are Go Power products. They got an excellent website, and they got tons of literature and tons of videos. So you can learn everything you need to know on there, as much as you want to know. Now, importantly, let's say you're in storage, but you want to keep your batteries charged, right? So the solar panel will do that. It'll keep your batteries charged for you. So when you're ready to camp again, they'll be charged and ready to go. But of course, if you're running the refrigerator runs off of 12 volt DC. This is a 12 volt DC compressor refrigerator, right? So you're not going to be able to keep up with it. So when you're in storage, the batteries will actually wind down, because it'll be sending all this energy to the batteries, and the sun can't always keep up with it. That's why they give you the switch right here. This switch turns your refrigerator on and off. So when you put it into storage, you want to shut the refrigerator off. Therefore, you have more energy the energy that's being gained by the sun is being stored in the batteries and not used to keep the refrigerator going. So you want to shut it off when you're in storage. Okay. I went a long way to tell you that, but I think I got to the point there. So the solar panel, like I said, this is the solar controller. It tells you everything you need to know what's happening when it comes to solar panel. This is controls the inverter. The inverter converts or inverts 12 volt DC into 110 AC. And then the converter itself does just the opposite. It goes from AC to DC, plus it charges your battery. Okay? All right. Let me pick up here. So this is on a swing out bracket here. This TV. It's more than just a TV. It has an FM radio. It has Bluetooth. It has 2 speaker zones inside and out. One inside and the other one outside of the trailer. So it does a lot. So it's more than just a TV. When it comes to your fan to vent, remember I showed you the baffle on the outside needs to be flapping freely when you vent to the outside. If not, if you're traveling, you just want to push it shut and latch it. You got light here. This works like any other trailer here. You have a sparker here. You have 2 or 3 knobs, one for each burner, and then this is for the oven. So very simple. It's going to take a little bit to get the gas up here because the tanks were just put on it. There we go. We're there now. So once you reach this point and the air is pushed from the system, they're gonna light the first time you click them. When it comes to the oven, there's a pilot light back there. So you basically go to this knob and you go to the picture of the pilot light. You depress it, keep it depressed, you light it. Once you see the pilot light, you still hold it for 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple, and then you'll go to operating temperature. But when you shut it off, the flame goes out, obviously, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Always keep this shut when you're traveling. This right here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If not, get it serviced. It's very important, obviously. It'll tell you if there's an LP leak or if there's a buildup of carbon monoxide. Okay, the thermostat, which is behind this door here, it works like any other thermostat. You just light it up by hitting the mode button, then you just keep poking it to go through the different modes. So it's very simple. While we're standing here at this table, because your slide out's going to come in, this is a new style table. You can remove it completely if you want, or you can just go like this. Sorry about my camera work, by the way. And you can just get it out of the way, lock it for when you bring your slide out in, okay? Always lock it so it doesn't bang around and break something. Now, you have a 4-speed fan, which is really nice. The last eco device on here is the shower miser. The shower miser is a water recirculating pump, basically, or system. So the idea is when you're waiting for your water to heat up, normally it just goes down the drain. So perfectly good water is going down the drain while it heats up, and you're losing perfectly good water, plus you're using up space in your gray tank. So with this, you put it in this position, and what it does, it just sends the water around in a loop from the water pump through the water heater to here, just loops the same water around while it heats up. Once it gets hot, this will change colors from this blue to a kind of beigeish color. You'll see it plain as day. And once it changes color, you know that the water's heated up. Then you go into normal position and you have your shower. So it's just a water recirculator, so you don't waste perfectly good water and you don't waste space in your gray tank storing it, okay? Again, there's literature on all this stuff, and you can always go onto the manufacturer's websites and look at their product videos too. It's another good way to learn. The toilet works like all RV toilets. It sits over a black tank. There's the flush pedal right there. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. Then you're going to put a dose of chemical in the bowl. And then you're going to stand on the pedal. Water will come squirting out, obviously, and you'll stand on that pedal long enough to put at least a gallon of water in the black tank below, along with the chemical. You can use more water than a gallon, but not less. So if you don't do that, it'll be considered using it dry. The smell will be terrible, plus it'll get clogged up. So you always want a dose of chemical and at least a gallon of water in there when you start using it. If you were to dump it and continue camping at the same spot, after you dump it, you repeat that procedure. Gallon of water and a dose of chemical, okay? Alrighty. Everything that can run on 12 volt DC in this trailer does. Some things have to be AC power, the air conditioner and the microwave. But any smaller AC appliance can be run off the batteries while using the power inverter, okay? Alright. So let me look around here. Wasn't the smoothest demo I've ever done, but I got through it here. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer from National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof. It should be part of your regular maintenance. It's important to maintain your roof. That's not just this trailer, it's every trailer ever made. Also, this is winterized right now, so the water's been purged from the system, replaced with antifreeze. The water heater's bypassed, so when the summer comes along and you get ready for camping and you purge all the water out of the system, you put the valves in the camping mode, make sure you refill the water heater before you turn it on, okay? Thank you very much.